Hi, so I'm Steve Wedge, back again to talk to you about living with Microsoft Office 365. Today we're going to talk about why you should decide your approach early on and stick to it. As I said earlier, in my vlogs, you need to plan out your architecture of your solution at an early stage. Think about whether you're aiming for integration with on-premise Active Directory and single sign-on to Office 365. Are you prepared to allow authentication to take place in the cloud, or do security controls prevent this? And also think about what I said about identity management being important. If you have an approach to identity management that you decide upon early in your program, then do stick with this. If you start changing the solution for identity management, you are going to find that other parts of your strategy are going to start to disintegrate, because there will have been assumptions made around those other parts of your strategy that are predicated on the way that identity is being managed. And if you change that approach 2, maybe 3 times within a program, as I have seen done recently, it does impact on the other aspects of the migration. So it's very important to define your identity management solution up front and make sure that you stick with it. So yes, Office 365 is a service, but it's also highly configurable and can be as open or closed off as you require. There are workloads within Office 365 which may not be applicable within your organization. Should they be hidden from view to avoid questions and confusion? That's something for you to decide, but it's possible to do that. As we've already discussed, think about how you're going to migrate email, what tooling you're going to use. Are you going to be proactively moving business documents into SharePoint and Teams? And if so, how is that going to be achieved? There are some really good tools in the marketplace that can help you do this. But one of the things that you need to think about is building time in for housekeeping. Don't move your legacy problems into the cloud. So if you need to get rid of all of the redundant data or archive data that should no longer be being actively used within the business, then do this up front and actually make sure that you invest some time in this. And some of this goes back to needing good business sponsorship. So you've got business teams engaged, and they understand why they need to manage their data, because ultimately it is their data. It's not IT's data, it's the business's data, and they need to make their decisions around what's redundant and therefore shouldn't be migrated. If you just pick up everything that's in your on-premise file shares and move it into the Office 365, you're just moving your problem. You're not solving anything. And actually what you're going to find is that you're probably going to blow your storage limits on SharePoint, and then maybe you're going to start to incur some additional costs. So suddenly your return on investment is not looking quite as good as it ought to be. So if you're in a merger and acquisition scenario, as I've said in previous vlogs, be aware this is not as cut and dried as it might seem. Tooling is immature, so Microsoft don't have all the answers. Third parties probably have better products. Microsoft tend to be a bit slow in producing their own capabilities. Think about how your user profiles are managed and can be cleaned up. So it goes back to identity management as well, but data quality is going to be important in Office 365. The user profile information is exposed to everyone, so it needs to be accurate. The job title, who's the line manager, contact phone numbers, etc. Now, these are all important things that you need to take care of in cleaning up your legacy environment. Anyway, enough about that. I'm sure I could ramble on for a lot longer, but tomorrow I'm going to talk about the support model. So thanks for viewing.